All right, everybody, welcome back for another lesson of Virtual Warfare, text-based role-play fighting tutorial series. And today's lesson is going to be lesson 19, which is going to be about how to create a sentience, but from scratch, as opposed to just using a summoning spell to simply summon beings or objects. In this video, Virtual Warfare will teach everyone how to create a sentient being or object out of nothing. This is going to be the last lesson for the metaphysical section of Virtual Warfare. There is going to be another lesson, which is going to be a hands-on lesson, but this is going to be the last lesson for the metaphysical part. The next lesson is going to be the metaphysical, which will start in the premiering season 5. So when season 5 of Virtual Warfare comes out, that's when I'm going to start the metaphysical levels, which will come out around maybe September, November. I haven't decided yet, but sometime during the end of this year. So without further ado, let's get on with the lesson. Now, creating a sentence can be as easy as just saying that you've done so. Of course, through the mechanics of using spells or hand signs. But with Virtual Warfare, it will be taught to create a sentient creature or object from scratch. Now, by scratch, I mean by using your own focus, energy, and intelligence to gather the necessities to create the desired creature or object. This will also help bypass the limitation that comes with the idea of the ability to summon. When using summoning spells, the summoned object is always subjected to various limitations, like being killed in one hit, being easily controlled, or having a relatively short lifespan. But if created from scratch, started from point A to point B, the summoned creatures or objects will undoubtedly be stronger and more efficient than those just being summoned with spells. They would be greater in power and potential, have a substantial amount of intelligence, causing them to be more difficult to control, and have an indefinite lifespan, and more. Though it may generally take longer to achieve summoning from scratch, it will be more powerful and potent than one created from a simple spell. Some of you may ask, how is this done authentically? Well, here's the steps. First, the idea of a consciousness must be present or built upon. This speck of consciousness must undoubtedly come from an already living being, which is recommended to be the user itself, because the only person that can create new life is God. So in this conjuring of consciousness, the gestalt of a human soul or psyche must be brought together. This would generally consist of a sense of identity, intelligence, emotion, awareness, desire, or mainly anything else that represents the system of a soul. Now, once the gestalt of a soul has been assembled, the next step is to create an incubator that will help perform the next step, which will be collecting and gathering the necessary elements to create a living organism. Because electromagnetism is responsible for helping hold all things together, attracting and repelling them, namely the elementary particles, it is recommended that such force be used when gathering the essential of creating the living organism. Once the electromagnetic incubator has been established, now the necessary elements can be gathered. But note, all species are different and all objects are composed of different minerals. Everything doesn't have to be perfect though, as this is roleplay, but it is recommended to at least have an idea of what elements and minerals are used for the natural birth of this being. Ideally, the sperm of a human should be the same as the sperm of an animal, vampire, or even a dragon, not in structure, but in minerals as in protein, glucose, etc. In this process, one can substitute the intrinsic method of fertilizing an egg and skip the natural process, because this is indeed roleplay. However, if not, one can generate the necessities of a human egg, nuclear, cytoplasm, etc., and speed up the molecular process that would take place to establish growth. Either or, whether through natural fertilization or through some mysterious pseudoscience, A speedy growth process is needed because this is being done within a roleplay fight, and time is of the essence. Once the growth process has been established, the player would then define the dynamics in which they would want their creation to exhibit. An example: height, weight, build, etc. Afterwards, or even through that process, players can even provide clothes, weapons, and other accessories through the same conjuring of elementary particles or by using a spell. And because the creation was created through the gestalt of the character's entire essence, they would also inherit the capabilities of that character, because in essence it would be considered as an offspring more than it would be inheritable creation. These processes can be done passively through spells and hand signs, or just through sheer focusing and manipulating manually. But because these step-by-step processes are established systematically according to the universal understanding of how preps work in roleplay fighting, they will call to creation to be stronger and better than anyone that was done through a simple method of using summoning spells. This is because each step takes time and energy to begin and complete. So, because of this, it will show the authenticity of the time and effort needed for the creation to exist, causing it to become more superior than anyone that was created through a simple magic spell. And that's pretty much the end of the video. I want to thank everybody for subscribing to Virtual Warfare and tuning in and liking the videos and commenting and joining the Discord and just having a grand interaction. It really means a lot to me. It's always exciting to see people into Virtual Warfare, and it's like a whole new world to me. So I really am grateful to have people just tune into Virtual Warfare. Also, now that I did, the virtual lesson, I'm going to start making more videos, more virtual voices, more reviews, and just other different projects for Virtual Warfare. But also, I'm going to be experimenting with some other content, but these experimentations is going to be on the other channel, which is called Virtual Odyssey. So I'm just going to be just uploading content on there, experimenting with different things. So if you guys want to check it out to see what it's about, I'll just leave the link in the description. Also, I'm going to be just uploading some shorts, some YouTube shorts, which is probably just like, excerpts from old videos that may be interesting or that may be informative for other people, but also probably some new content too, just some new ideas that we'll be posting in some shorts. And that's pretty much it. Once again, like I said, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks for the subs, and I'll see everybody in the future. Deuces.